Hey foodies, welcome back to Amma's Cooking Recipes. Today we are preparing a chocolate cake recipe. It's a whole wheat cake recipe and this is the perfect for kids snack box. In this recipe I just used some healthy basic tips in this recipe. Just watch the full recipe and let me know if you like my recipe. Before that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. Let's get into the recipe. Here I taken a 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Just sieve nicely. In this recipe we are not using a maida. I just using only wheat flour and just I sieve nicely. Now I just using half cup of cocoa powder and now I am using a 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This is the half teaspoon. I just using a 1 teaspoon of baking powder and half teaspoon of baking soda. And just sieve nicely and just mix nicely and keep it aside. In this way I just mixing and keep it aside. Here our dry ingredients are ready. Put it aside and we will prepare a liquid ingredients also. Before that I just greasing the cake mold with butter and set the butter paper nicely in this way. Now we'll prepare the liquid ingredients. Here I will prepare this cake with quickly so that we can prepare our batter in a 2 minutes only. So I am using the mixie jar. In this mixie jar I just added a 2 eggs and half cup of sugar and half cup of milk. It's a room temperature milk I just added. And here is I just adding a half cup of ghee. Normally cake we will use the refined oil. For a healthy version I just using that half cup of ghee and 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence or a chocolate essence also you can add. Just grind for 2 minutes and mix dry ingredients into wet ingredients nicely. We can prepare this chocolate recipe as quickly as possible. Here I just mix nicely in a slow form. Now I just adding a 2 tablespoon of hot water. It must be too hot so that our cake will give a good texture and a soft. Here we are using a atta, so it's hot water is must compulsory. We need to use for this chocolate cake. And here I just adding a 1 teaspoon of vinegar to activate our baking soda and baking powder nicely. Just mix nicely and transfer into the cake mold. I just transfer all over the batter into the cake mold and just tap once, and in this way just with the help of toothpick we will mix nicely so that without any air bubbles will be there. In a cooker, in a stand, I just set in this way. Its cooker is already heated and without whistle and without rubber we will prepare this cake nicely in a cooker only. We need to bake 40 to 45 minutes. See the better texture was how it was. See the fluffy cake is ready in 45 minutes. I just baked in low flame only. Here is our super tasty fluffy wheat flour cake recipe. In a cooker we prepare nicely. After let it cool down and demold the cake. See nicely it came out. I just baked this cake in 40 minutes in a low flame only. Here is our softy and tasty cake recipe. See how softly it cutting and coming out. Yes, we prepared this cake recipe in wheat flour only. If you like my recipe, don't forget like, share, subscribe and comment. Make sure to prepare this recipe and let comment come back and comment my recipe.